And today's question comes from Julie in the Baby Steps Millionaires group. I'm saving 20% down to buy a house in 2023, but this mortgage rates keep me worried. Are we really going to buy at 6 to 7% rate next year? People's incomes are not growing as much. What are your thoughts? It will take longer to save money for a down payment. Yeah, and it is hard. I mean, if you're seeing increases of interest rates and, that the price of housing has kind of, I feel like
it's definitely cooled off.
Steadied, yes.
Hasn't been increasing at the same rate.
No. But the interest rate is having people worried. And so, Julie, I mean, just looking at the math, we always talk about a down payment of 10 to 20%. So even if you wanted to get into the housing market faster, you could just save up 10%. 20 is obviously a wonderful goal, but the 10% would work. But just making sure that your mortgage payment is no more than 25% of your take-home pay. That's the big part of this equation. And again, a lot of people fight us on that because it's very conservative. But here's the deal. Like if half of your income is going to a mortgage payment, you're not going to have a lot of money to go and enjoy and to invest and to save for your kids' college and to put extra on the house to pay it down. I mean, it just limits your ability. So we don't want your house, your mortgage payment to eat up so much of your income. So that's the conservative approach that we take. But honestly, it works. It works.
And we just took a call earlier from a guy who could be looking at foreclosure because they got in a house a little too soon. The payment's a little too much. And so walking into this really peacefully with some wisdom, even though it hurts because you're looking at these interest rates and you're going, well, even if the prices stay the same, a few interest rates points higher could mean hundreds of dollars more.
Yeah.
And so, like Rachel said, I would focus on that 25% parameter of your after-tax take-home pay going towards the PITI, principal, interest, taxes, insurance. And that gives you more peace. It's not necessarily about a perfect down payment number, and we're not mad at you if you put down less than 20%. It's more about not having too much of your world tied up in a mortgage payment. So I crunched some numbers using our Ramsey mortgage calculator just to show you what this looks like, because the numbers, it's real. And so let's say the home price is $500,000. You want to put 20% down. That's $100,000 down on a 15-year fixed. Well, if the interest rate was 5%, your payment would be $38.47. When the interest rate goes to 6%, well, now it jumps another $212 to $40.59. If it jumps to 7%, it jumps another $220 to $42.79. And let's say it jumped to 8%, it's another $227 at $45.06 every month. So you can see from that 5 to 8%, it went from $38.47 up to $45.06.
Yeah, it's a lot.
From 5 to 8%. So that is a real concern, but here's the good news. You can always refinance later.
Yeah.
And so if that interest rate, your payment is within that 25% parameter, go for it. You are ready to buy a house regardless of the interest rate. And when the interest rates go down, which they inevitably will based on history, then you can refinance at that lower rate. And a lot of people did that. People now have 2 or 3% interest rates because they refinanced over the last few years.
That's right.
Which lowers their payment. So do not fear. But I think it's worth talking about the real estate trends that we are seeing in 2023. And this is based on our blog called 2023 Real Estate Trends, What You Need to Know. We'll put the link in the show notes and in the YouTube description for all of you if you want to go check that out. But there's been lots of drama around buying and selling a home in the last year, Rachel. Here's some market predictions. And these just give you an idea of what to expect. Again, they are predictions. No one has a crystal ball. So never let these control your housing decisions. Only your personal situation and your finances should do that. So for 2023, the data is pointing toward a slightly more stable housing market, not a crash. We've been saying this for, I feel like, a year now since our real estate live stream.
Because for a while it was the housing prices were going crazy and there was like 42 offers on any house that was for sale in a moment, and people thought, oh my gosh, this is turning into a bubble. And now it's the interest rates that have people panicking.
That's right. And this is all because home prices are only driven by the law of supply and demand. So when demand is greater than supply, home prices don't tumble. So today, here's the stats. There's still a shortage of homes for sale and lots of buyer demand. That is why home prices are still going up, but they're just going up at a slower rate. So leading into 2023, the median home price reached over $366,000, and that's only up 2.3% compared to a year ago.
Yeah, and that growth, it can have people panicking, and it is, but listen, again, the housing market is not going to crash, so calm down, and it still marks 130 consecutive months That's over a decade of year-over-year increases, which is the longest running streak on
They should win a Guinness
record.
Book World Record for that. That's incredible.
That's it. I know. So again, it's not going to crash. And Freddie Mac actually predicts overall home price growth in 2023 will drop by 0.2%.
0.2.
Yes.
Just barely.
Drop that is, small, nothing to worry about. And again, it's not a sign that the market is going to crash. So again, calmer prices is directly related to supply and demand. And again, historically speaking, there are more homes for sale than people wanting to buy. And so that's the great thing. Or I'm sorry, more buyers out there.
It's been trailing behind demand.
That's right. Right. Yep. So we're seeing a slight uptick in supply. And at the start of 2023, housing inventory was up 10.2% year over year. And while that's still lower than it was before the pandemic, buyers should have more options than they did the past few years. So again, looking at buyer demand, last year, the average mortgage rate increased several months in a row, which lowered demand a bit. Again, people weren't going out and rushing to buy homes as the interest rates kind of ticked up, which made it affordable for other people because you could actually go and negotiate the price, which is great. But in January, mortgage rates dropped to the lowest that they've been since September of 2022. And Freddie Mac forecasts rates to stay pretty steady over the rest of this year. So some buyers who held off their plans because of rising rates last year are likely to return to the market in 2023.
Woof. So in other words, what we're seeing here is supply is starting to meet in the middle with demand, but we still got a ways to go. So the bottom line, we won't see home prices plummet or spike in 2023, and the market should feel steadier. I think that's good news. So never sit and wait for home prices or mortgage rates to drop. That's like timing the stock market. We would never tell you to do that. It's impossible to time the market. So if you're in good shape financially, don't wait to pull the trigger. Don't wait on the interest rates to be the perfect interest rate. It's not going to do that. You can always refinance if the rates go down. And so here's how you know if you're in a good place. You're debt-free, no consumer debt whatsoever. You have a fully funded emergency fund of 3 to 6 months of expenses. And then you have that down payment to where the mortgage payment won't eat up more than 25% of your monthly take-home pay on a 15-year fixed-rate mortgage. And that is some of our most controversial advice, Rachel. I mean, every time we say 15-year, they're like, these guys are 25, these guys are crazy. And I'm like, you know what's crazy? Foreclosing on a home at 26 because you felt pressured to jump into it.
To go and buy. Well, and the biggest thing too, I think, is yes, you don't want a massive mortgage payment eating up your income because you want to be able to do other things like fund retirement, enjoy your life, do other things with your money than just pay a mortgage payment. But also it is being debt free and having an emergency fund in place. Please have savings in the bank.
Yes.
When you go to buy a home. I mean, home ownership, it's expensive. Things break, things happen. And when you don't have money, it turns everything into a crisis. I mean, you live on the edge and it does something to your anxiety level, your stress level when you don't have money saved in the bank for a rainy day. And that's regardless of whether you're a homeowner or not, but especially if you're looking to buy, make sure you have an emergency fund in place before you do that.
Yes. We can't sit here complaining about an interest rate going up 1%, which is $200. Instead of going, oh, it's my car payment that's killing me. It's my credit card debt that's killing me.
A $900 car payment.
Clean up the debt.
That'll give you some margin.
So if you guys want help with this stuff, we've got tons of resources for you. We've created a hub at RamseySolutions.com/homebuying, and we can even connect you with expert pros to help you guide those decisions, give you confidence as you step into the largest purchase of your life.